Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're planning for retirement, or know someone who is, you need to hear this because what I'm about to share could cost you thousands of dollars in Social Security benefits. We're talking about a change that's been quietly rolling out that could rob Americans of what was once considered their retirement golden age. I'm talking about the Social Security Administration's decision to continue pushing the full retirement age higher, and this isn't some distant future problem. This is happening right now, and if you were born in 1960 or later, you're about to feel the impact in a big way. We're going to break down exactly what this means for your retirement, how much money you could lose, and most importantly, what you can do about it right now. So let's dive in, because time is literally money when it comes to Social Security, and the clock is ticking. First, let me explain what's actually happening here. The Social Security Administration has been gradually raising what's called the full retirement age, or FRA. This is the magic age when you can start collecting your full Social Security benefits without any penalties. For decades, this age was 65, which is why so many people still think of 65 as the traditional retirement age. But that's no longer the case. Back in 1983, Congress made amendments to the Social Security Act to gradually raise this retirement age, and we're now seeing the full impact of that decision. The FRA has increased from 65 all the way up to 67, and this year, Americans born in 1960 are turning 65 and discovering they can't get their full benefits for another 2 years. Let me put this in perspective for you. If you were born before 1960, you're actually in the clear. Your full retirement age ranges from 66 to 66 and 10 months, depending on your exact birth year. But if you were born in 1960 or later, you're looking at waiting until age 67 to get your full benefits. That's 2 additional years of working compared to previous generations. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. 2 years doesn't sound like that big of a deal, right? Wrong. This change has massive financial implications that most people don't realize until it's too late. Here's where it gets really concerning. Social Security expert Aaron Saxena, who's the CEO of retirement planning company MDRN Capital, recently spoke about this issue, and his words should be a wake-up call for everyone. He said, and I quote, "As the full retirement age for Social Security shifts to 67, many Americans are realizing they'll need to wait longer than expected to claim full benefits, often too late in the game to adjust their plans." The key phrase there is too late in the game. Many people are finding out about this change when they're already in their 60s, thinking they're about to retire, only to discover they need to work 2 more years to get their full benefits. And if they can't work those extra years, they're facing a massive penalty. Let me show you exactly how much money we're talking about here. If you decide to retire early and claim your Social Security benefits before your full retirement age, you face what's called an early retirement penalty. This penalty can reduce your benefits by as much as 30%. Let me repeat that, 30%. Here's a real example to make this crystal clear. Let's say you're entitled to $1,000 per month in Social Security benefits if you wait until age 67. But if you can't wait and you retire at 62, you'd only receive $700 per month. That's a $300 monthly difference, which adds up to $3,600 less per year. Over a 20-year retirement, that's $72,000 in lost benefits. But here's the flip side that makes this even more unfair. If you can afford to wait until age 70 to retire, your benefits actually increase by up to 24%. Using that same example, instead of $1,000 per month, you receive $1,240 per month. So we have a system where the people who can afford to wait get rewarded with higher benefits, while those who can't afford to wait get punished with lower benefits. This brings us to one of the most troubling aspects of this change: it doesn't affect everyone equally. The people who are hit hardest by this are often the ones who can least afford it. We're talking about Americans in labor-intensive jobs, people with health issues, those in construction, healthcare workers, and service workers. These are people who often have shorter lifespans, rely heavily on Social Security benefits, and simply cannot work into their late 60s due to the physical demands of their jobs. As Cirksena pointed out, it's simply not realistic for these Americans to wait until 67 to retire. Think about it. If you're a construction worker who's been doing physical labor for 40 years, your body might not be able to handle 2 more years of that kind of work. If you're a nurse who's been on your feet for decades, dealing with the physical and emotional stress of healthcare, waiting until 67 might not be an option. But here's what's really happening. Many of these people are being forced into an impossible choice. They either continue working in jobs that are destroying their bodies, or they retire early and accept a 30% cut in their benefits. Some experts are predicting that many of these near retirees will instead try to claim disability benefits because they literally cannot continue working. Now, let's talk about why this change was made in the first place, because understanding the reasoning helps us see where things might be headed. The original justification for raising the retirement age was that people are living longer, so they should work longer to ensure the sustainability of the Social Security system. On the surface, that might sound reasonable, but it ignores some crucial realities. Not everyone is living longer. Life expectancy varies dramatically based on your job, your income level, your race, and your geographic location. A wealthy executive might live well into his 80s or 90s, but a manual laborer might not see 70. The Social Security Administration is also facing a funding crisis. Current projections show that the Social Security Trust Fund will run out of money for full payments by the mid-2030s. As Cirksena explained, unless Congress acts, current projections show a benefit cut of around 20% by 2033. This is where things get really concerning for the future. The government is using the retirement age increase as a way to reduce lifetime benefit payouts without technically cutting benefits. It's a clever accounting trick, but it has real-world consequences for millions of Americans. And here's something that should terrify everyone. The Social Security Administration is considering raising the full retirement age even higher than 67. There are plans being discussed that could affect 257 million Americans by 2033. Imagine if the retirement age goes to 68, or even 69. We're talking about a fundamental shift in what retirement looks like in America. So what can you do about this? First, if you're approaching retirement age, you need to know exactly what your full retirement age is. Don't assume it's 65 or even 66. Check with the Social Security Administration to get your exact FRA based on your birth year. Second, you need to start planning now, not later. If you're in your 50s or early 60s, you still have time to adjust your retirement strategy. Consider whether you can realistically work until 67, or if you need to plan for early retirement and the associated benefit reduction. Third, you absolutely must supplement your Social Security income. The writing is on the wall that Social Security alone will not be enough for a comfortable retirement, especially with these changes. You need to maximize your 401k contributions, especially if your employer offers matching. That's free money you cannot afford to leave on the table. Consider opening an individual retirement account, or IRA, if you don't already have one. Unlike a 401k, an IRA isn't tied to your employer, giving you more flexibility in your investment choices. The key is to start as early as possible and be consistent with your contributions. Here's something else to consider. If you're married, you and your spouse might want to coordinate your Social Security claiming strategies. There are techniques like file and suspend or restricted application that might help you maximize your combined benefits, though some of these strategies have been limited by recent law changes. Most importantly, don't wait until you're 64 to start thinking about this. The time to plan is now. As Cirksena warned, too many Americans are finding out about these changes too late in the game to adjust their plans effectively. The reality is that retirement in America is changing, and not necessarily for the better. The traditional idea of retiring at 65 with a pension and Social Security is becoming a thing of the past for many Americans. The new reality requires more personal responsibility, more planning, and unfortunately, more years of working. But here's the thing, knowledge is power. Now that you know about these changes, you can plan accordingly. You can make informed decisions about your career, your savings, and your retirement timeline. You don't have to be caught off guard like so many Americans are being right now. The Social Security system was created to provide a safety net for American workers in their retirement years. While it's still better than nothing, it's clearly not the robust safety net it once was. The combination of rising retirement ages, potential benefit cuts, and longer lifespans means that Americans need to take more control of their retirement planning than ever before. So here's my challenge to you: take action today. Check your Social Security statement, calculate what your benefits will be at different retirement ages, and start maximizing your other retirement savings. Don't let this change catch you by surprise.